Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of ScreenTalk. Today we're focusing on Ted Lasso. Now, I've just been watching season one of this show, and I think it's just damn right brilliant. I mean, an American football coach, coaching soccer or football as we call it here in the UK. If you're watching it or listening in the UK, then you also call it football. But this show is more about feelings, mental health, stability, relationships, character development, and the beautiful game itself, obviously. So it kind of starts off with a rocky movement where it's like Ted Lasso has been employed by this woman who's in charge of Richmond, AFC Richmond, and she is trying to ruin the club because her husband cheated on her. And I think it's just a fantastic dynamic that comes into the show that she's actually the owner of the club at the minute, and she is trying to ruin it and secretly ruin it. She wants everyone to think that she's doing her best, but she is actually trying to ruin the club. And it's really cool to see. So she hires Ted Lasso to come over from America to coach AFC Richmond. And basically, she does this so that AFC Richmond will fail and will not win anything, and she can then destroy the club that her cheating husband loved so that she can get revenge. Now, this is where it gets interesting because we meet Ted Lasso and he's such a fascinating character because he's just likable. Everyone likes him. I mean, he's just a happy-go-lucky American. I mean, it's just nice to see on the screen where it's like, yeah, I don't understand the offside rule. I'm not a big football fan myself, so it's quite nice to see someone else following that suit and actually teach the beautiful game. Like, I don't fully understand the offside rule. I don't really care for it, if I be honest. And it's good to see that this show actually focuses on these good points of yes, football is a beautiful game, but my god, are the rules so finicky, messed up, and everything. So I've just finished season one, and it ends with AFC Richmond getting relegated, but it's a big defining moment where they're actually playing their best, and one of their former players relegates them, and they're facing Man City. But it's within these moments that within the season that you see the character development. Like, I don't want to butcher his name, but Sam Alajabende or something like that. And he goes from like Jamie Tartt's punching bag to his own man, where he's literally facing off, standing up for himself, making himself known. In season two, he's getting a lot more screen time and everything like that. And we also get the story of Jamie Tartt, Roy Kent, and Keeley, which is kind of like a love triangle kind of story where Jamie Tartt's dating Keeley. He's kind of a dickhead to start with. I mean, it kind of goes into why in season two, and I will probably do more on it when I'm past a couple episodes of season two. I'm only just about halfway through it, so I'll explain through that. I'll probably do another screen talk on it once I finish season three. But it goes into that his dad's a dickhead to him. He treats him like a piece of shit, and basically that's why Jamie acts like a piece of shit. Now, Roy is a piece of shit because he's old, and Jamie makes fun of him for being old. It's quite a good dynamic where he's like, "Oh, shut up, Grandpa," and they're always fighting. And Roy's trying to make him respect his teammates. Ted's trying to teach him that he should be passing more because he's a greedy little cunt and everything like that. It's quite cool to see, but one thing that does stand out is the dynamic between the players where no matter how they're feeling, they always get along on the pitch, except from one time where Roy actually physically tries to beat up Jamie on the pitch because he just makes everyone look like a fool because he thinks that he's special. And it kind of goes into this in season 2 where Jamie gets dropped by all the clubs. He goes onto this reality TV show and he begs to come back to AFC Richmond because he's now realised that, yeah, he may be special, but he ain't shit without a team. And that is what football is about. It's about the team. And it's kind of, you kind of see Ted Lasso go through the moments with this where he's like, yeah, you might be special, but if you made an extra pass, that guy could score, you'd get an assist, and you'd look even better because when you score the goals, you'd be scoring more because they're willing to pass to you more. And it's quite cool to see that an American trying to understand the beautiful game of football, where it's just like, oh, well, I'm putting in my American football knowledge to your soccer knowledge, as he says. And it's kind of showing the similarities between the two games, but also the differences, like the silly rules that are here in soccer and everything like that. I don't know why I keep calling it soccer. I'm British. I should be calling it football. But it then goes into like, how can I explain it? Like Ted's marriage. It kind of shows that it's falling apart. The reason the owner is taking it out on the club is because her husband cheated on her. Ted kind of is a happy-go-lucky guy, and he's always making friends, and it shows that he makes biscuits for the owner, and she falls for his charm and everything. Everyone loves Ted because he's just a nice guy. He's truthfully down to earth. He isn't hiding anything from anyone, except from season 2 where he starts having panic attacks. He kind of hides that from people, but then he does tell them at the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, where they get beat by Man City 5-0. And there's a big story where it's like mental health is a problem in football. Uh, Ted kind of knows this because in American football, the concussion side of things are the most damaging thing, but in physical football over here is more the mental health of the players where they have a bad game, they feel it, the fans make them feel it, everything like that. And it kind of comes across that Jamie feels this pressure from his dad because his dad's an asshole to him. And they end up having a fight and everything, but it shows the mental toll that it takes on the players as well, because they're all asking, saying, "Oh, why do you do this? Why do you do that?" And it kind of shows, like, let's see, I'm trying to think of a good way to phrase it. It shows a dynamic change in characters where Ted would have not defended Jamie. Sorry, Roy would not have defended Jamie. But as soon as he saw how much of a dick his dad was to him, he went and hugged him because he then realized why he's like that and what the mental stress it has caused on Jamie himself to be under this pressure of his dad. And Jamie kind of explained in an earlier episode that he plays football for his mum. His mum didn't care about the money, she just wanted to see him do something he loved. Where his dad came back around because he was playing football and because he was playing for Man City and being good at it. And his dad's an absolute prick. And it's good to see him getting comeuppance. Another thing about this season, like I said, I can't talk about too much because I haven't actually finished the whole series yet. But I'm loving it. I think it's a fantastic series. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you do go watch it now. This is a very short screen talk because I was meant to be doing Lucifer this week, but my friend pulled out. Nothing like anything like that. It's just something that can't be helped and stuff like that. But Lucifer will be next week, and it should be a good one there, where we have a lengthy talk about all 6 seasons, the characters, the changeover, the takeover from Netflix, and everything like that. And but yeah, this was kind of a last minute thing, so that's why it's so like messed up, jumbly, blah, 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 and not very long at all. It's probably about 10 minutes, but I enjoy talking about these things. I enjoy listening to these kind of things. Sometimes you just need to get something off your chest, you know what I mean? And screen talk for me is getting these things that I can't talk about with my partner and stuff like that. Like, she don't care about what I'm watching. She likes what she likes, and I like what I like. But me talking about this makes it off my chest so that I can at least talk about it. And but sometimes screen talk might go into a little bit of a deeper dive of mental health and stuff like that, because gaming helps with stuff like that. TV will help with stuff like that. So there may be an episode in the future where we focus on the mental health of people and how society needs to recognize that it is a problem and everything like that. But I want to thank you all for listening. If you did enjoy, please like, subscribe over on YouTube, Everything's Dev. Follow me here on Spotify. You can follow me over on Apple Podcasts, Everything's Dev. Once again, Screen Talk is the name of the podcast, and today's episode has been about Ted Lasso Season 1 and halfway through Season 2. And I have enjoyed talking about it, so thank you very much, and goodbye.